It's a company we don't normally talk of. Funny enough, and I know that you were recently called DNR Capital in 2009, then changing to Andulela as well. Yeah. You're on the main board of the JSE. Tell us why you're under the radar.
Well, we've been doing a lot of hard work in the quiet and making sure that we are able to produce the results that we have. In 2010, the results were not as good as the current year. We've had to move from a loss position to a profitable position, and we moved substantially in this year. The most important and significant improvement has been in the subsidiary called Kilken, which is a PGM production entity which has a relationship with Rustenburg Platinum. We've done phenomenally well, partly because of the platinum pricing that has sustained itself over the period of the last 18 months. What has also been significant is that we've had a substantial maintenance regime that we've implemented, which we monitor on a day-to-day basis, which has improved our results significantly. We've also introduced substantial technology, which has helped us with the recoveries over the period of time. And we're glad with the results that we got.
Okay, Peter, I mean, as Ashruf mentioned, that we've actually seen quite a bit of negativity into the company last year. Things have changed quite dramatically. Just looking at the PGM space and looking at platinum as a whole, is there a concern on your end that we could still see a lot of negativity within the space? And given the fact that you actually focus on the retreatment plants, obviously the tailings dam, does that put you in a better space than a lot of the platinum miners in South Africa?
Absolutely. As Ashruf has alluded, we're a low-cost producer. Our very good relationship with Rustenburg Platinum over the past number of years has been subject of these recoveries. We've introduced these technologies, and we've seen up to 30% improvement in recoveries. And also underpinned by the strength in the PGM markets. And to answer your question, I don't see a drop. We actually foresee the PGM markets sustaining for the foreseeable future. Yeah.
And I mean, what is your cost per platinum ounce?
Well, we have to get back to you on that.
Okay, all right. So let's just look at, you're also in two very interesting spaces because you're also within the steel market. So give us an indication of what is happening with pro-roof steel merchants. And again, I allude to this space because it is very high cost and it seems that profits are not really as much as they should be. Give us a sense of your margins. Are you, again, in a very attractive competitive space?
Yeah, I think we got to start off from the inception as to why we went into the acquisition in the first instance. What we liked about the steel industry is that it allowed us diversification so that we're not just isolated into one particular kind of business, and that's the flotation business in the platinum industry. I think the steel industry is in a flux currently, and I think that it's going to take some time before it recovers fully. For us, the acquisition was at the right time and at the right price, because our transaction was done on a share-for-share transaction, and there wasn't any cash outlay on our side. What was significant is that in order to have the acquisition materialize to the extent that it did, we had good interaction with Investec Bank Limited, who helped us tremendously in making sure that this particular acquisition took root and took the form that it did. I think there's a lot of work still to be done in the steel industry, manufacturing industry, and the distribution sector. There's a lot of synergies that one has to have with a number of partners, and we're busy with all of that, and I think we're going to turn that around.
Okay, where do you source your steel from? It's still processing, distribution,
Most all steel producers in South Africa sources from metal. I think 99% of them. We are in that space, also bound to the pricing in the markets as a whole in that. And as Ashruf also just explained, we're fortunate that we were at an Investec relationship where we could restructure their debt significantly and de-risking them for the short and medium period.
Yeah, it's a 23-year-old business, so it's been there.
It's quite a long time. Yes. You're taking advantage of the global market shifts as well, and it seems that you know, the resource space, and we're talking about it with our previous guest, when it comes to a lot of the demand that we're expecting on the ground. What other kind of opportunities do you foresee? You've got steel in your stable, you've got the PGM space. What other markets are you looking at this point?
I think we're going to look into a variety of other commodities as well. We currently looking partly into the IT business, which is related to commodities to an extent, and we're looking in that direction. So we want a nice basket of investments that yield substantially good results over the period of time on a sustainable basis.
And Pieter, when are you actually expecting more companies to hit your stable? Can we expect any movement into 2012?
I think towards the end of 2012, definitely. We're in a reporting period, so we, and in the acquisition and merger space, we just need to finalize.